Hey, checking in with 18 to 30 of The Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, number 4 in the Strmlght archives, which is definitely a lot of moving the pieces around. Um, they're sending another party to the Netherworld place. God damn, name's gone right out of my head, as many of these things have. Because they're going to try and send an envoy to try and get the friends to kind of like, come on to their side, even though that many thousands of years ago they betrayed them, which is apparently for the friends is just like a couple of generations. So it's like, and they've never made any reparations, they've never made any apologies for this. And indeed, they get there and are basically told, you guys are like criminals. Why would they welcome you at all? And indeed, the one guy who did kind of semi help them the last time lost his ship, was busted down to the very lowest, and was completely kicked out of the city. He can never ever go back. It's like, wow. Um, they're also Shalan is worried because there's a spy on board. She thinks somebody who's been fiddling with the equipment. Could be her. You never know. They've she kind of she and her various personas drop little different nuggets of information in hopes that they'll hear about it from other things. One of them does seem to pay off, but then it seems like, wow, that was too good to be true. Can we trust this? All that. So, you know, there's all that. Kaladin is continuing to be a kind of a humble surgeon in his thing. One of his sergeant has decided to join him. Says like, I'm also not right in my head. They go looking for the guy who he met earlier, who's like definitely who had was a refugee who had been suffering, PTSD. Um, and they find that he had gotten sent on to the Ardens, who are sort of treating mental health like kind of old, very akin to what mental health, mental health was treated in earlier days in our culture, which is basically locking people up, throwing away the key, isolating them from each other, basically making people, even people who are probably pretty fucking unhappy in the first place, even more suicidal. And Kaladin goes, wait a minute, this is actually the thing that I could do to help, is that I know what these people are going through. Maybe I can help them. And so he takes this guy away from the Ardens, and he says, and I'm going to be coming back for more. So Kaladin, the psychologist, or at least kind of some kind of a mental health healer, may be a thing coming forward. Um, that said, it's one of these things of, it's a giant book in a giant series, and you do get the sense of like, if this was a smaller series, there might have been none of this, or a really edited down version of it, but we've got the sprawl going, and it does feel more like sprawl than it does feel like I have a big story to tell and I need the room. It's sometimes it's like they feel like the writer has bought, instead of buying a little apartment and making a tight, efficient story, has bought a multi-room mansion with many, many different wings, and now he's just got to buy furniture for all of it and fill it up with crap. Whether he needs it or not, whether it makes any sense or not. Um, I get that feeling with fantasy authors. Might also just be that I'm not as much into this sort of stuff as other people. But yeah, that's sort of my opinion of it. I guess I'm going to continue listening to it, and we'll see if it kind of picks up a bit, but bit of a drag here. All right, I will leave it there for tonight. More videos later.